What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody?
Head south toward Military Road South.
Nation Tire Wholesale. Okay. Wow. Now you want to give me a goddamn ride. Now you want to give me goddamn rides when I'm ready to go and take a different trip. God damn. Pretty messed up and shit.
Head west toward Military Road South.
It is what it is. What it is, yo? What's up? What it is, yo? What's up? Nation Tire Wholesale, NTW. That's the pickup
Head
point.
north toward South 164th Street. At the light,
It's not looking good, guys.
Road South.
Iran just struck a U.S. base in Qatar.
Continue for half a mile.
It's not good at all. It's not looking good for the global economy, guys. Definitely not. It's not looking good, guys, at all, actually. To be quite honest. Looks like
Quarter mile, turn right onto International Boulevard. Pacific
Iran
Highway South.
strikes Qatar.
And if we take a look at the situation today, we don't see major.
What's up, Adrian? What it do, man? What's good with it, dog?
At the light,
What
turn
is
right
up
onto
with the
International Boulevard,
freaking-
Pacific Highway South.
I swear to God, YouTube is censoring.
This one looks good. Let's hop in. No way, this is the one I've been looking for.
YouTube is censoring, I swear to God. YouTube is censoring, I swear to
Turn left
God.
onto South 154th Street.
What's up, Adrian?
Head
What
west
it do?
on South 160th Street toward rental car return.
Post Intelligence Services
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Air Cargo Road.
What's up? What's up? What it do, man?
rallied around Iran, and they're not willing to work with foreign powers to bring down Iran, bring harm to the Iranian people. So I don't think regime change is in the books at this state of.
How's everybody doing? Make sure you guys give it a like, man.
Objective, it would be disastrous for Iran and the region. And point that in 2023, Israel wasn't bombing Iran. So I think we should have to take into consideration that Iran is being bombed by an enemy. When there's an enemy bombing your country, people tend to put their differences aside and rally around the government that's in power at the time. So I think so Israel's war on Iran could backfire if Israel's looking for a regime change. That's one way of looking at it. Obviously, time will tell.
But the real risk, here I am, I shouldn't be saying this. Right now, I think Iran is immune to regime change. The real risk comes once peace breaks out and the scope and scale of the damage done to Iran becomes apparent. And if the regime doesn't have a plan on how to move forward, and this is where peace becomes important, because the sustainment of sanctions against Iran would be devastating to Iran in a post-conflict environment. So I think one of the things that Iran is looking for by continuing its struggle against Israel is to get concessions on the lifting of sanctions.
But severely damaged it. So this is an admission. Well, we didn't actually destroy Fordo. We didn't do that, but it goes deeper. Ready? Both things cannot be true. Trump's bragging about complete success, while Iran claims it evacuated its nuclear sites, moved the materials, and kept the scientists working. Iran concluded...
Well, that's because the U.S. gave Iran a heads up.
If this is a win, what does a failure look like? And then you literally have a video here of one of the Iranian hardliners who explains, I won't play it for you, of course, because it's not in English, but the Iranian hardliner explains that, oh, we've been moved our stuff out of there because it was very obvious they were going to attack us. Trump was effectively saying he was going to attack us. They were broadcasting it since, like, March. And so as soon as we had the slightest hunch that this was actually going to go down, bro, we got all of our stuff out of there immediately. So again, what a disastrous and colossal failure. This was all like a show attack.
Now, this guy is a leftist.
Which is a regime change.
This guy's a leftist.
Change, excuse me. Senior officials tell the New York Times, if you do not know the whereabouts of Iran's stockpile of near-bomb
I like to
uranium.
hear different perspectives
Let me repeat that. Senior officials
just to get an
from the
idea.
Trump regime are telling the New York Times, yeah, we actually don't know where their uranium is, so... What? So then again, the public
Qatar said they're going to retaliate towards
it has
Iran.
nothing to do with that at all. We warned you of that from the beginning. I told you the goal was regime change, and in fact, Seymour Hersh already reported that that was already greenlit. A full regime change was greenlit. Everything else is just fucking kayfabe. All right, so Iran also decided, well, let's hit Israel some more after this attack. Iranian missile hits electric infrastructure in the south. Thousands temporarily lost power. So
Ashdod?
Iran launched
Who
another
did they?
wave of attacks
What city did they
against
hit?
Israel. How about this? Iranian retaliation against U.S. forces could come as soon as the next day.
Somebody's asking,
That's
does
from
Iran
Reuters.
have a right to
So,
defend
in other
itself?
words, U.S. military bases in the region, U.S.
I'm
infrastructure
watching
in
this
the region.
channel here. I'm not
That shit's
promoting
about
it.
to get
Just-
lit the fuck up, dog. That's what's about to happen. Russia jumps in. Russia is ready to help Iran, the Kremlin says. And that's to say nothing of China, the other close ally of Iran. So when I told you guys, you absolutely positively are flirting with World War III, I meant it. Because you have...
Why
there
is this
an
guy blocking
alliance
the
on the other side.
path?
And, you know, and Trump, by the way, at the same time, has also alienated virtually all of our allies. So what happens if there's a
But
united
they
front?
only
What happens
launch
if
as
it's
many
China, Russia, and
missiles as
Iran,
we
and they all
use
stand up against this,
on
against
their
this regime
nuclear
change?
site.
What happens? I mean, we are run by absolute psychopaths. More. Smoke rises from the Shar Ireh, South Tehran, after an Israeli strike near the Sayed al-Shoham.
Turn right onto Air Cargo Road.
So here, let me show you. You know, we got some videos here.
What the hell? Is that a Bronco or a Mustang?
So Israel is
I'm
continuing
confused.
to attack after the U.S. attacked the nuclear sites.
Continue for 1 mile.
And remember, I warned you, Seymour Hersh said they're not only going to go after the nuclear sites, they're also going to go after more top military officials, more top political officials. He even says they're going to go as far as to attack police stations in Tehran to try to collapse civil society. The university in Tehran was attacked by Israel today on Monday. So, yet again, Israel doing what they do best, which is attack hospitals, attack schools, attack innocent people. Israel's military is now warning Iranians in Tehran. Dear citizens of Tehran, in the coming days, the Israeli army will continue its attacks on military targets in the Tehran region. To protect your personal safety, we ask you to stay away from military bases and security institutions affiliated with the regime. Now, at the same time, what's the media doing? They are ramping up the propaganda and ramping up the fear-mongering on CNN. The banner here says, Iran sleeper cells warning. When I told you about the time machine, right back in 2002, I fucking mentioned it. At the time, which came up with this stupid fucking like color-coded system to try to scare the shit out of me.
NTW Tire Wholesale.
Basically, make them so big to have kind of fear-mongering. All right, now, we're gonna talk more about this later.
We're doing... Yeah, Pentagon just... There was no casualties in the airbase. Yeah, that's... I mean, they're letting each other know. They're letting each other know. They're informing each other. So Even last time when Iran retaliated for that General Qasami, they gave U.S. a heads up. So same thing happened. Same thing happened now. Same thing happened when we hit their nuclear sites. We gave them a heads up. So you know.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto South 142nd Street.
Instead, they're doing bullshit like this. Watch.
Yeah, so what we're looking at here is we're being told this is, I think, anywhere from just shy of 200 to 300 feet in depth. There are all kind of reports out there of 1,000, so I think that's more propaganda. So what you end up doing is, if you saw the movie, then eerily enough, this is the
Turn left onto South 142nd Street.
it's not just one bomb, it'll be a bomb after a bomb to get through that penetration.
And just lastly, that's what you're talking about. Penetrate up to 200 feet below the surface. And then, of course, we'll see it try and put the second one in there and go down in there. Let's bring in David,
Continue for 3/4 of a mile.
instructor, retired U.S. Marine Corps officer. Now, David, I don't know how well we did that, but you know this better than anybody. Talk to us about, questions over whether or not this can successfully be done.
And Joey Jones just crushed that explanation. You guys hit the nail on the head, so really well done. This absolutely can be done. There is not a cave in the world deep enough to defend itself against the American military, and it needs to hit it. And you described the weapon system and the aircraft and the mating of that exactly right. Now, this is a hard problem to solve, but it is absolutely a solvable problem with this system.
So that was complete and utter rank propaganda. There's not a cave deep enough to protect themselves from the American military, and they're pretending like, bro, it's just like the movie Top Gun, bro. How they're doing it, bro. Look at our illustration, bro. No, all that's bullshit. None of that is true.
This
things
guy
that
is
they're
actually
claiming
funny.
to set out to do, they
I
did not
listen to him
achieve them
because
at
he's
all, not
funny.
even close. Here we go. Department of Homeland Security has issued National Terrorism Advisory for the United States. Quote, the ongoing Iran conflict is causing a heightened threat environment in the United States. I'm on the record. I'm saying this before. Let me say it again. I would not at all be surprised to see a false flag attack that's blamed on Iran to try to make war fever much stronger in this country. Let me repeat that. I would not be surprised to see a false flag in this country that makes popular will for a long-term war with Iran skyrocket. So here I am again. Take note. This is beforehand. I'm telling you about it. Beforehand. And we know there are plenty of nefarious entities that would be more than willing to do some sort of a false flag attack in order to build that popular war for Iran. And the government is already trying to make you walk around mildly scared, looking over your shoulder for what? Persians? Iranians?
In 1,000 feet, your destination will be on the left.
This sort of horseshit makes it much more difficult to be, for example, an Iranian American. To be somebody that might be confused for an Iranian American's might be, for example, or whatever. People are gonna, double take at brown people in this country and feel, oh, are they gonna do a terror attack?
Head south toward South 146th Street.
So wait, now they're going for Latinos. Now they're gonna go for brown people.
Were ostracized and they were attacked. And so that's the real result of this garbage that we're talking about. Now, at the same time, former CIA Director John Brennan went on MSNBC and he confirmed the following. Iran has no nuclear weapons program. Iran posed no imminent threat to anyone. Iran was nowhere near producing a nuclear warhead, and Iran wouldn't even use one if in a first strike, if it did. Those are all super basic facts. And I'm happy that somebody went on TV to say that. Scare the shit. So when you ask the question, y'all, as direct and straightforward as possible. So when you ask the question, do you want America to be at war with Iran? Look at the numbers. No is 85%. Yes is a measly 5%.
Head east toward South 146th Street.
Excuse me. Where we at? We got some tires and shit. We got some tires and shit. Anybody up in this bitch? No? Should we end the stream? If ain't nobody up in this bitch, we might as well end it now and shit. 2 a.m. What in the Sam Hill are you talking about? I guess ain't nobody in this bitch. Woo! We got some truckers, man. Freaking crazy, bro. Freaking crazy trying to park this fucking semi and shit. Crazy, bro. I was always fascinated with the way truck drivers are. Wow, this guy's got an entire load, huh? That's crazy, man. He's hauling ass. He's hauling ass, man. I guess there's people transporting a lot more, huh? I guess if you got a bigger vehicle, they give you more shit. Well, I ain't got a big vehicle and shit. Anybody in here? If there's anybody in here, if not, make yourself known. If not, I'm gonna end it. If ain't nobody writing anything, there's no point of, you know, trying to talk to myself here. You dig?
Turn right onto Des Moines Memorial Drive.
I'm gonna give it another minute until I get on the freeway and shit.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto the ramp to Washington 518 East.
So when you ask it in the most direct, honest, forthright way, this is the result. Virtually nobody in this
What's
country
up,
sees
Kevin? What to
themselves
do?
as pro-war. Nobody wants to be pro-war. Now, having said that, this is the power of propaganda, and this is the power of MAGA, the Trump cult. Because when you ask the question in a different way, ready? Do you approve or disapprove of the U.S. bombing nuclear sites in Iran? So in other words, this is framed more around like, hey, should they be allowed to get a nuke? When you phrase it that way, look at the results. Only 13% of Republicans, only 13% of Republicans somewhat disapprove or strongly disapprove. So when you frame it from, should Iran be allowed to get a nuclear weapon, right? They say, no, of course not. Do you disapprove of the U.S. bombing nuclear sites in Iran? Only
Turn left onto the ramp to Washington 518 East, and then merge onto Washington 518
This guy is right. He's actually a real reporter. He's actually right. The way, when you spin it differently, people polls differently.
If necessary, should the U.S. attack Iran's nuclear sites? And when you add that qualifier and you ask Trump voters, it's over 70% that say yes, attack. This is the power of propaganda, endless propaganda on TV. This is the problem of the MAGA cult, is that as soon as Trump says, this is necessary, we have to do it, they go,
He calls it a mega
absolutely,
cult.
sir, you're so right, sir.
That's hilarious.
Here we are. In yet another regime change war, illegal and offensive war in the Middle East. I don't want to fucking do this shit again. I don't want to do this shit again. But, cat's already out of the bag. We're already deep in it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe.
We're balls deep.
Big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna go down well, man. Gas prices are gonna go up and shit. Freaking crazy.
Set professional invoices and get paid faster, all with the QuickBooks mobile app. Just go on Washington 518 East for 2 miles. And get notified when you're paid. Anytime, anywhere.
Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Let's get her done. good with it, my. Ooh, we got the nasty traffic. What's going on here, man? Ugh. So over it. Oh my god. So over it. Oh my fucking god. Like, what's going on? What in the Sam fucking hell is going on here, man?
So I finally got my claim for my car accident. I'm a little bummed. Really? They only offered me $5,000. What? So, $5,000?
That's good. Welcome back, everybody. As we've seen, a lot of conflict over the past weekend, and the consequences that are really starting to fall. So let's have a look.
A senior Iranian lawmaker now reporting that in what they call a decisive response to U.S. aggression against, again, what they call Iran's peaceful nuclear facilities, the Iranian parliament has voted to close the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz.
This is one of the ways that Iran can strike at the United States, West as a whole, dramatically with immediate effect.
In a quarter mile, use the middle lane to turn slightly right onto the I-405 North Ramp to Renton.
Thanks. I'm starting on Monday.
And this is true. There's already been a 3 to 5% spike in the price of oil per barrel that we've seen in the market as the uncertainty of the conflict really unfolds. But as far as the Strait of Hormuz goes, closing that down isn't possible.
Use the middle lane to turn slightly right onto the I-405 North Ramp. Then use the left lane to take the ramp to
Hi there,
I-405 North.
Matthew Floyd.
Affect many countries out there. It would cause the international price of oil to go up. So that's really how it hits the U.S. So, well, yes, we're
Use the left lane to take the ramp to I-405 North.
surges in the gas prices at the pump all across the country right now.
Continue for 2 miles.
At least right now is protracted, longer stretches out, and the more difficult it is for countries around the world to actually get their hands on oil, the price of oil
In 2 miles, use the second from the right lane to take exit 2 toward Renton.
is how high it could actually go.
My next guest says potential disruption in the Strait of Hormuz. Well, that could cause oil prices to surge as much as to $100 a barrel when bringing out Tortoise Capital.
God damn.
Portfolio manager Rob Powell. So let's talk about that because the general thinking has been that the Strait of Hormuz is off limits for a variety of reasons. Number one, now China gets so much oil from Iran that would disrupt them. Oman's a friendly neighbor to Iran. That would disrupt them. That gets a no-win situation. But you think it could still be on the table?
Well, I hope not, but because 20% of the global oil supply comes through the Strait of Hormuz, if there was any disruption in the potential oil supply, that would immediately cause oil prices to spike. So our hope is that that doesn't happen. The odds are pretty low, but it's not a zero probability that there will be some disruption in the Strait.
So Iran itself doesn't actually control the Strait of Hormuz, although it does have the greatest position to defend it. But like I said, there's many actors in this, so it's interesting to see if it actually plays out and it's able to close it down as far as it holding back China from actually tapping into the fuel reserves that Iran holds from it. Now, because China is an ally of Iran, I'm sure there would be some kind of deal that they would get through because those strategic partners, especially at this moment right now where conflict is on the horizon.
Head southeast toward Washington 181 South.
But as far as prices,
Turn left onto Interurban Avenue South, then turn right onto Southwest Grady Way.
ranges. But as far as kind of the smaller conflict,
How's everybody doing? You guys doing all right?
It looks like prices are estimated to peak around 115. But even at 115, we would still be seeing prices at the pump probably around $4, $5, maybe even $6 as a national average. Now, when we're talking about states like California, of course, it's going to be much higher. In this article from Reuters, Goldman Sachs flagged risk to global energy supply amid concerns of potential disruption in the Strait of Hormuz that would lead to significant spikes in oil and natural
All right, guys.
gas
Well, there's
prices.
nobody talking, so you guys have a great day.
Updated Sunday.